There once was a man named Gold Roger who was king of the pirates. He had fame, power, and wealth beyond your wildest dreams. Before they hung him from the gallows, these were the final words he said.
Our perspective is yours for the taking, but you'll have to join us first. We left everything we debated at the Yonko table.
Ever since, pirates from all over the world set sail for the Grand Line, searching for the Yonko table, the table that will make their dreams come true.
Yo, folks. Welcome to the latest and the greatest from the Yonko table. That is the voice of Grandmaster Hoop coming at you from the hot seat here in your gamers' chairs, because that's right, folks. We are going to be talking about everything that is the 2022 Video Game Awards. That's right, folks. The 2022 Video Game Awards just passed last week, and we got some great things to talk about, some major upsets, some dominations here and there by certain games, the craziness that surrounds just the gaming community and how we view said awards. We're here to talk about it all, so you're going to hear a lot from us as far as everything the Video Game Awards. But with me, as always, is DrJaceAttorney to chime in on everything the Video Game Awards. DrJaceAttorney, are you excited to be talking about everything that transpired at this year's award show?
Everything that transpired?
Maybe not everything. Everything worth mentioning that doesn't give somebody a unnecessary platform.
Oh, that's a little too late for that. But yes, I am excited to talk about the Video Game Awards. This is probably the first one in a long time that I've sat down and actually watched from roughly the beginning all the way through to the end. I want to say the last one I really sat down and was like, all right, I'm gonna watch this thing in its entirety. I think it was still on Spike TV, and that was oh god, 2014 maybe.
The Dark Ages.
The Dark Ages. I could have sworn Samuel L. Jackson presented an award the last time I sat through. Not to say I haven't kept tabs on what games would win certain awards, but in terms of watching the show from beginning to end, I want to say was that long ago.
I mean, I think that sounds about right. The Spike TV era was you had to be there. I don't even know if Spike TV is even around.
What is it? It's TV for men, right?
Was that their slogan?
I think that was the logo. Yeah, that was their whole thing. They had, or because they had that late night show, Mansers. Answers for men.
Oh, I remember that. That was such a show.
That was at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. at night.
I just remember they used to play the Rocky movies on repeat a lot.
It's a TV for men. Testosterone.
I guess so. But the Video Game Awards, we're here to talk about them. They're no longer done by Spike TV. I guess now they're just a conglomerate of people coming together to talking about the awards. You heard a voice there, folks. We are not alone on this venture. Let's see which supernovas are joining us to tackle this foray of the Video Game Awards tonight. All right. So here we are, the Video Game Awards. They're now produced by the Game Awards, which is just, I guess, no more TV productions. No one channel gets to air this. It's just live. Whoever gets the rights to the live streaming got it. So no more Spike TV. Again, I don't even think Spike TV is a thing.
It's its own thing now. That's nice. It's grown a lot since its inception, from 2012, 2013.
Yeah, no, I think 2012 was the first. Yeah, the first one, I believe. That sounds about right. And I guess well, actually no, it says start all the way back in 2003. 2012 was the last
2003.
2003.
Was when it started, the Game Awards?
The Spike TV Video Game Awards.
Oh, okay. When it was
2003.
Okay, when it was under Spike TV. And then in 2012, what happened? It was the last year it was on Spike?
2013 was the last year, yes.
That it was on Spike TV.
Correct.
Okay.
So from there, yeah, like you said, we've come a long way as far as I think they have their own credibility to ride the high off of. You know, they don't need the backing of some network. There is a lot of, you know, there's more respect going into the video game awards. With that said, though, we got to talk about this before we get into the, you know, just the nitty gritty of who won and nominations and all that. The video game awards, although they've come a long way, as Ryoma Etchison from Prince of Tennis likes to say, we still got a ways to go. There's still a lack of, dare I say, maturity among the gaming community.
Who could you be talking about?
Well, let me ask. How invested are y'all into the video game awards? Are you simply invested because you are, you know, is there a game you wish to see win? Or do you have respect for gaming as a whole? Why do you tune in? Why do we tune in? For example, I tune in because I mainly wanted to see, I was rooting for God of War. That's why I really tuned in this year. Also, it was a very, I think, divisive year. God of War and Elden Ring being the two big top dogs. That's why I tuned in. I wanted to see them duke it out. I wanted to see who took home the most. Why do y'all tune in? Because I feel y'all are probably on the category of, we are mature gamers in this community.
Oh, how sweet.
Best way I could
because
put
we're
it.
old.
Not even there. I think there's some immaturity that reflects or doesn't reflect someone's age. Yeah, at your age, not your shoe size. I think that fits.
Ooh.
Good call.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like I guess I tuned in this year just because I was really curious, like who was gonna win from the duke out between Elden Ring and God of War. They're games that have been heralded as the best in history, the best game of all time. I don't know if I would go as far as to say that for either of them, but you know, there was heavy marketing with both. Ragnarok, I mean, it's a fantastic game. Elden Ring is a fantastic game, and I think I really wanted to see which one was going to come out on top in terms of, you know, either who took home the most awards or who took home the game of the year. But outside of that, like I said, the last time I really sat down was when, like, during the Spike TV era of the Game Awards. I'm just kind of indifferent to it in general. Like, I'll tune in and be like, oh, okay, that's cool, that game won this award. But maybe it's because I was just so invested with God of War and the shift in the gaming community with Elden Ring, with how everyone was praising it. Like, people considered it like the second coming of Jesus in the gaming community, or it was like the red eclipse, the lunar eclipse of the gaming.
Was that how they saw it?
Once in a lifetime. Huh?
It was practically that. It was ridiculous the amount of praise Elden Ring was getting. So, well, you know, with that kind of praise, I'm like, all right, I want to see what this thing wins. So that was my take on, you know, tuning in this year. If something big comes out next year, I probably may or may not watch the Game Awards. I don't know. They did have some big reveals that maybe I do want to see if they win anything next year. So I don't know, maybe next year. But those were the main reasons why I watched it this year.
I'd say contenders are a big reason why anyone tunes in. If they this year was a heavy year in gaming. Some great games really came out. Mr. Bombastic, you didn't tune in at all, correct? You were waiting the aftermath.
That's correct. Yeah, I couldn't really find time to actually watch it, which is fine. Adult life kind of going in. But I know every now and then I do look at Twitter and I just find some spoilers, quote unquote. So I was able to see some of the other things. But I try to not spoil myself to actually kind of like get like an actual like reaction to a couple of things. I know beforehand I was actually pretty big on game announcements, because a lot of game announcements would actually be there as well. And at the same time as well, I would like to see what is considered the best game of the year. So I always try to like be there in some kind of way.
No, that's fair. Game announcements are huge. I mean, we're going to talk about what was announced at this game show. And, hearing us talk, it very much feels like, I mean, again, you could say this about any award show, is that this award show is for gamers by the gamers. And
For better or worse.
For better or worse. And that's the problem. It seems like this game show is trying to cater to other audiences outside of the gaming community, and that's where I feel we tend to see kind of the foul ups per se. Mind you, again, a lot of stuff was good. There were some live performances. We saw Hosier and Bear McCreary come do Blood on the Snow.
That was nice.
That was very nice. Very well done.
I like this was towards the end of the show, but that orchestra that went through all the Game of the Year nominees soundtracks.
Is that with the flute guy?
Yes, the guy that went in on the flute and he was like so invested.
Apparently he had like 5 different instruments going on at the same time.
Oh, he was playing 5 different instruments?
I know that from like the pictures that I saw, like he was playing a flute, then he was playing a whole nother instrument. And if I'm right, I think he might be at least 2, but maybe 3 or more.
That's insane. I mean, that's the stuff I want to see from the Game Awards. It's kind of going back to what you said, Grandmaster, like 2 seconds ago. They're trying to cater towards other audiences, and it's like, why are you advertising Glass Onion? Who cares? I mean,
has nothing to do with video games.
I do want to see Glass Onion, but I'm not watching the Game Awards to get the latest tips and snippets of Glass Onion. But this cool orchestra of music from these games that we may or may not have played, that's really cool. You can't get that at a show like the Oscars or I don't know, the Emmys or Golden Globes, whatever. You get this only at the Game Awards. And I feel like almost every year, our good boy Jeff Keighley, the guy who hosts the Game Awards every year, he keeps trying to push it. He wants to be the Oscars.
I mean, I think rightfully so. You want to hold your award show in very high prestige. Just keep in mind, the Oscars have been going on for like 80 years. Emmys probably right behind it. Video Game Awards have been around since 2003. There's a giant way to go in order to get that clout and that recognition. We've seen Video Game Awards, as you said, they're promoting Glass Onion, nothing to do with video games. I don't think Al Pacino was in a single game this year.
Why was he here?
Let alone a game ever. Or I don't even know if he's a gamer. He's here presenting awards,
He didn't even star in his own Scarface game on the PS2.
Make it make sense. He goes and butchers the name too when he announces the award. We'll get to that in a bit. But it's like, sure, Al Pacino's here. I'm much more happy to see Reggie Fils-Aimé,
Yeah, of course. OG Nintendo stand. His body was ready, as the announcer said when he entered the stage.
They actually said that?
They actually said that when he came on stage. They said, Reggie Fils-Aimé and his body is ready. I was like, wow, that's nice. That's nice. Do you know what that's referring to, Grandmaster?
What? Did he have a character in something?
No, it was back during the Wii days when Reggie was still the president or VP of Nintendo of America, and to advertise if you remember the Wii Fit. You remember the Wii Fit?
Of course. How can I forget? I had one.
I had one too. And to advertise it, he went on stage at like some E3 or some event, and to like really sell it, the person on stage with him, he's like, Reggie, are you ready to test out the Wii Fit? And he's like, I am ready, and my body is ready. he said my body is ready.
He's a character. We love Reggie.
Character. I love
he knows it too. That's the best part.
Well, exactly. And it's like, when we have this award show play into its strengths and play to the actual audience that's here for them, I think you're gonna get that recognition that you always sought. But when you try to be something you're not, then it's like, I don't know. It would have made more sense if you want to bring out a celebrity, bring out Keanu Reeves.
Okay, yeah, I could get Keanu in there. He's in, and he's in some fairly recent games as well.
Yeah, bring out old boy from Death Stranding, and The Walking Dead.
Norman Reedus.
Norman Reedus. Why? Like, you have people, like, utilize them. If you are trying to go in that direction. But again, I think it's a couple of years before we see gaming awards being held in such high regard. I think it's best to talk about this now real quick as we talk about just kind of the awards show aspect. We in our chat talked about how this could never happen at the Oscars or the Emmys or any of that stuff, but when the top award, they present it and some random, he might as well be a flasher at this point.
Yeah, he could have done anything on that stage.
Anything.
Like, as a joke, he could have flashed himself, bam, naked on the award show. If he showed up with malicious intent, he could have killed someone up there. Easily. Like, it's oh man. So what happened?
All right, well, let's kick it off like this. This is the final award of the night. It is game of the year.
Right.
Again, biggest contenders, Elden Ring, God of War. Might as well be honorable mentions at this point. Xenoblade 3, Horizon Forbidden West, A Plague Tale, and Stray.
Never stood a chance against
drum roll,
the Juggernauts.
please. Yeah, drum roll, please. Elden Ring takes home Granddaddy Prize, Game of the Year. All the creators go up there. Miyazaki is like leading the way, and there's this boy. He doesn't even come down the same aisle as them. He comes down from like the next aisle over. Mind you, there's like probably 30 seats between aisles. And he walks up on stage. Nobody says a thing. He stands behind the whole creative team in camera shot. And I'll tell you, when y'all shared this photo in this tweet of this kid, I thought he was part of the team.
I think everyone thought he was part of the team with how he was standing up there with him.
So he's standing casually, like one hand in the pocket, and he's clapping along after every time they say something, all their thank yous and all that. He looks like he belongs. And he doesn't. He's just this random kid. And what should have been a grandstanding moment for, this team for Elden Ring gets overlooked by this kid as he thanks his rabbi, Bill Clinton. President Bill Clinton.
Yes.
And it's like, goodness. What the fuck just happened? I didn't know what to think. Well, I went and watched the clip afterwards, and I was like, this is insane. Like, how?
It's ridiculous. Oh, wait, what?
Did this moment just kind of solidify that this is the video game awards?
I remember we were blowing up the group chat like throughout the entirety of the Game Awards. Like, oh, who do we think is gonna win this award? Or what game is this in the trailer? What do we think it is? I recall putting in that chat, one of the things was people do not take the Game Awards too seriously because of the standard that gamers have set for themselves. And case in point, what do you know? At the grand finale of the whole award event, this happens. I'll be damned. This would never happen at the Oscars. And I know, and the comparison even came up. Someone said, oh, but don't you remember Will Smith came up and slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars? There's craziness at the Oscars too. that was Will Smith that walked on stage. This was some random kid who you have no like we're laughing at it, but you have no idea what his intent is going up there whatsoever. And thank God he didn't do anything. He just took the moment to be stupid, and he thanked his Orthodox rabbi, Bill Clinton, you know, thank you for the Game of the Year award. And then bam, he was arrested on site.
Good. But
Good. He seems to be doing fine now. I don't think he's.
I mean, I guess they can't detain him. It's not his fault. He was able to. It's not like they said you can't walk up there. You know,
exactly.
It's understood. But again, there we have this disconnect between the gaming community and events like these where they should be taken seriously. And just, again, this kid is no Will Smith. Will Smith can walk up and slap Chris Rock, get banned from the Oscars for like the next 5 years, and he'll keep it moving. This kid just set the video game awards back to 03. Just like that.
And this is one of the clips that I actually saw from Twitter, because I've been hearing about it a lot, and so I was like, oh well, let me just check it out. And yeah, like you guys were saying, like I was watching the whole thing, the whole clip, and I was thinking, oh, like that must be one of their kids, I'm pretty sure. And once the bomb was dropped, I was like, wait, a lot of pieces were like not falling in together, and why is this kid here? Why did he say that? And like, where is this going from? Where's security? That's one of the bigger questions.
Jeff Keighley was definitely ripping his hair out at the end. He probably thought, yo, oh my God, the Game Awards went so smoothly this year. Usually every year something happens, but this year we did good. We did good. And oh man, I think Jeff Keighley wanted to strangle that kid.
There was probably a talk, hey, should we have security down the aisles? You know, gamers could be, you know, iffy. It's like, no. Oscars don't
gamers
have
have respect.
Gamers have respect. No one's gonna ruin the moment, especially not at the final award of the night. There's no way. There you have it.
Lo and behold.
Now we did say we don't want to give this kid a platform any more than he already has now. I don't even know his name.
Don't know his name.
This definitely is, I feel, talked about even more than the actual awards. So let's do the actual awards some justice here.
Let's do it.
So as we stated, Elden Ring, Big Daddy winner. Game of the year. Are we okay with this?
I don't know. Like I'm indifferent to it. Like obviously my contender going in was God of War. I played God of War. I didn't play Elden Ring, but I played God of War to its completion. And God of War was just, I mean, we have a pod on it where we just really deep dive everything. Go check that out, by the way. But it was really good. God of War, gameplay, story, mythos, pacing, everything was just really, really good. But at the same time, even though I haven't played Elden Ring, I'm aware of what Elden Ring did for, like, I guess the industry in a way, for like open world games and how they're played. And a lot of people compare Elden Ring to when Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild released back in 2017, where it kind of paved the way for how open world games would be done, you know, from 2017 onward. That's why whenever you see an open world game, this, like, you know, in this era, like if it does really well, usually it borrows a lot of elements from a game, like, for example, Breath of the Wild. In playing Horizon Forbidden West, the open world element, one of the things you can do is like hand glide, like while you're flying in the air in Forbidden West.
Yeah. Literally
ripped straight from a game like Breath of the Wild. So that's me. I would have preferred God of War Ragnarok, but at the same time, I understand why Elden Ring took home the money for Game of the Year. I think it was deserved. Like I didn't think God of War was like snubbed. Like, oh my God, how dare they? Elden Ring, Elden Mid, Elden Ring is bad. Like
If it
no,
had to go to anything else,
it would have been that.
exactly
Yep.
Right.
Yeah,
Because
this year
none of
basically does too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Bombastic, do you have the consoles that you could play these on?
Oh, of course not.
Okay.
But I know for a fact that those two games were like the biggest ones. I knew that Elden Ring and God of War were like the better marketed and the better like performing games. And by far, to be honest, like I mean, I've seen streams here and there to basically just see how the game is playing, and it seems pretty fluid. It seems like both games were like really good. It's interactive, that everybody's having fun. And I figured just even before watching like any clips or anything like that from Twitter, that it was going to be between those two, or like basically going back and forth between either awards.
Yeah, I think, as we talk about kind of the more maturity that goes into the gaming community as a whole, there are some, as we've seen celebrities take part in these games. For me, the biggest thing that I gave respect to for Elden Ring was that, one, of course, everybody actually enjoyed it. It received, high praise, but George R.R. Martin was part of the writing team for this game.
That was the biggest thing.
Right. For me, that's a huge win for gaming, because you have someone as prolific as George R.R. Martin, Game of Thrones fan of fame, comes in and basically writes out this story, this lore, this world, and that's incredible. I too have not played Elden Ring. It came out at the same time as Forbidden West Horizon.
Yeah, same month, I think.
Yeah, same month. I think like weeks apart.
I think it was a week apart. I think it was
right.
Yeah. Oh man, that's
we made our choice.
We made our choice. It's so unfortunate. Like Horizon has had these weird releases where they release about a week or so right before a game that like changes the industry. In 2017, Zero Dawn, it came out a week before Breath of the Wild. So same thing this year, a week before Elden Ring.
Didn't stand a chance. Little did they know, they thought the backing of a sequel would be able to save it, but no. Elden Ring, definitely iconic for 2022, probably move into legendary status if they keep expanding as far as DLCs. I imagine an eventual sequel for sure.
At some point, yeah. That's the new breadwinner.
Right. Who's the main producer of Elden Ring? Bandai Namco.
The company? Yeah, Bandai Namco.
Oh yeah, this is they're gonna milk this.
Oh,
for
sure.
But it's nice to say though. It's like they'll milk it, but I think it'll still be quality milk.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
It's organic.
There you
milk.
go. But Elden Ring also takes home best direction, best RPG, best art direction. So
I could definitely give that best art direction. Some of the backdrops in that game are really, really nice.
It's pretty intricate too. The character designs, the creatures. I give it that too. I'm not upset at any of these for sure.
Right.
I can get on board with these. We talk about God of War being the other one. Obviously it lost best direction and art direction as well, but RPG, that was Elden Ring. That was
all the way.
Yeah, right.
I mean, like,
wasn't gonna be anything else.
I started recently streaming Elden Ring on Twitch at DrJaceAttorney. Thank you, Nino Desposado, for letting me borrow the game.
He let you borrow the game.
He let me borrow right after it won Game of the Year. He's like, here, try Game of the Year. I was like, okay,
here's a
fine.
reason why.
I finished God of War. I was like, okay, fine. And in playing the RPG mechanics, it definitely was gonna take home that award compared to its competition for sure.
Yeah, no doubt there. Again, the major categories it won three out of the 5, I think, are the major categories. But God of War did not go empty-handed. I think it took home more awards.
It did. It did.
Yeah, right. And now with that said, it's like just some things are just better. Elden Ring is a giant open world. Is it MMO? It's not MMO, is it? You can't team up with people.
No.
Okay.
What, Elden Ring? Is Elden Ring?
Yeah,
MMO?
Elden Ring is
No.
it's solo, right? You're flying solo.
Well, there's like co-op or PvP elements, but it's not an MMO like the way you would think, like World of Warcraft or those other MMOs. It's primarily single player with some PvP and PvE elements, but it's mostly single player.
Okay, I bring that up because I feel with games like that, and I was talking to my friend about this as far as there's so much to do in Elden Ring. It's kind of hard to narrow in on the narrative and the story because you got so many other things you want to do.
Kind of have to dig for it yourself.
Exactly. So it's not a narrative-driven game. So it makes sense to me that God of War, probably the biggest award that it takes home, is best narrative. As you said before, Dr. Jace, we did our pod on God of War Ragnarok in its entirety. We covered pretty much everything. That narrative, there's no way it goes to anything else.
Yeah, there's no way.
I don't even got to touch Elden Ring, and I know this narrative will not move me like God of War.
It
Ragnarok.
won't. I played some of the other games on this list, like A Plague Tale Requiem. I love A Plague Tale. That game was really good. Ain't touching God of War. Neither is Forbidden West. Like, I love Forbidden West for what it was. Not touching Ragnarok. It's not.
Right. Mr. Bombastic, are you familiar? Did you watch the cutscenes? What do you do in these types of situations where we say God of War wins best narrative? What do you do?
Do you Google the ending and just look it
up? So I do watch bits and pieces of like people streaming it, so I kind of follow it in that kind of sense. If there's anything that I'm like maybe I missed out on anything, I might just look like a small playthrough on YouTube, and I just go straight where I need to go. I know from what I've seen on God of War, and from actually like listening to your podcast as well, I found out a lot about God of War that I can actually see that as well. And same thing with Elden Ring as well. When like I was like looking at some of the streams, I was able to find out like their narrative, and went from then on, and then I kind of just judge according to that.
Okay, I just bring that up because I don't want you to feel like we are just hyping this up. It truly is.
It transcended time and space.
I think so, because
I completely agree when it comes to that, because even from somebody who doesn't really like doesn't play as much games as before, I love like watching people play, or like I love like watching the scenery and things like that. So like I became kind of immersed into those games and a few other games as well, to when it comes to that. So I was still invested in my own way.
No, I'm glad you find those alternate routes to experience these games in some sort of fashion. I think God of War 2018 also took home best narrative. So from here, it's a continuation of it's a really great story overall. But God of War also takes home best score in music. I think that's understandable. Music's pretty top notch. People who haven't listened to the score, Bear McCreary, and then soundtrack title, Blood Upon the Snow. Great song.
Really good
Hosier. Takes home best audio, best action adventure game, and I don't know much about this one, but the Innovation Award. Do you know about that, Dr. Jace? The Innovation Award?
Not really. I mean, innovation. My understanding is it has to be innovative. right? And
It's the whole title is innovation in accessibility.
Oh, is that what it was? Innovation in accessibility?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So in accessibility, a lot of the things that Sony has been doing with a lot of their first party games, so like specifically with like Uncharted and The Last of Us, they've been doing this thing where they've been going above and beyond in their accessibility features in their games, where people with disabilities can still enjoy their games to a certain degree. So like you go into the options menu, and if someone has like some level of like they find it difficult to see things clearly, there's accessibility features for vision in the options menu to make it more visible to someone that may see things a little bit more harder than someone who doesn't have difficulties in that area. Or even with sound, how controls are. They really go in depth with like how they try to reach that market of like, some gamers have disabilities, physically, and they try to accommodate for those people. I mainly saw it with games like Uncharted and The Last of Us. But this is the first time I've seen it with a game like God of War, which is very interesting because God of War is like a very fast-paced game, where, you're swinging combos and chaining, different attacks and weapons together. So to see them go and try and, innovate in that area, that's actually really cool that they did that. I'm glad it won over The Last of Us Part 1 that came out in
God,
September.
I see that. Ew.
Was it on there on the nomination?
It's nominated. It is.
And you know what? The reason why I'm glad is because there's a lot of people that say this remake, imagining, whatever you want to call it, of The Last of Us Part 1 was such a waste of time. Like, no one asked for this. But the one positive on it was that people were saying, well, hold on, wait a minute. It's a little bit of a remake, but its biggest thing is its accessibility features. They wanted to make this revamped version of The Last of Us and give it these accessibility features that were praised in The Last of Us Part 2, where I think The Last of Us Part 2 actually won the award, I think, for accessibility features back whenever it was nominated in 2020 or 2019, whenever the Game Awards were, when The Last of Us Part 2 came out. So I'm glad God of War took whatever reason Last of Us Part 1 had for existing at the Game Awards. So yes, much deserved to God of War. Much deserved.
I like the fact that they're not backtracking and saying, oh, Last of Us, you finally made it more accessible to people. Great job. Here's the award. I'm glad they said, no, you missed your chance.
You missed it. Ain't not good enough. Not good enough.
But that's cool. I was unaware that this was based on accessibility. So that's actually really awesome. That's the gaming developers being inclusive, thinking about, the wide array of gamers that they have. So I really like that. That's awesome to hear. God of War also takes home. And again, God of War had 11 nominations to Elden Ring's 8. I don't think, Elden Ring didn't have a nomination in this category. Best performance. God of War takes home Best Performance for our boy, Christopher Judge.
Deserved.
So much deserved. I will say this. Sonny Soljic is also nominated for Best Performance. And I hate when stuff like that happens.
Right, because it's like you're competing against the person, like your partner in this. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
There is no Kratos' journey in God of War Ragnarok without Atreus, and now they're pitting. I'm glad Sonny gets nominated too.
I'm glad he's nominated at the very least. Yes.
It does suck that they're pitted.
Right. Maybe as the Game Awards expands over the years, maybe more categories will start opening up. So like
supporting
performance. Oh man, son, he would have taken that. He would have taken that easily.
For sure. They might categorize it by, you know, they might do overall performance, and then they could categorize it male or actor, actress.
Okay,
if
yeah, yeah.
if they wanted to,
I can see
because you know, interestingly enough, so you said you played Requiem, Plague Tale.
A Plague Tale Requiem, yeah.
The
I played that
lead
one.
in that one, Charlotte McBurney, who plays Amicia,
Amicia, yeah.
she's nominated.
She's nominated, right?
Anybody play Immortality?
I don't think I have, no.
Yeah.
That's all right. Main lead, Main Gage, so another actress
Okay.
as their
okay.
lead. And
Okay.
then this one, I also would give credit to Ashley Birch as Aloy from
Oh, okay.
Horizon.
Yeah.
She's nominated as well.
Okay.
Dare I say she's the best thing about the Horizon series. Like, character wise, like, I do not care for any other characters really in that game outside of Aloy. It's really hard for me to latch on to anybody. Is she? I mean, she is that whole entire game.
She's the main character. I get it.
But
Makes
like,
sense.
it nothing really moves around that game outside of her. It's like,
Right.
you know, so dare I say I could even see her continue. But back to Christopher Judge. Again, Kratos pushing 20-year character. This character is almost 20 years old. Brings a new life into Kratos in 2018, God of War. Damn near breaks his back doing the motion capture.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he you know, part of the delay for Ragnarok, he was injured.
Wow, I did not
Or
know
he had
that.
health
Wow.
concerns. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
That's impressive.
Yeah. He's 58.
Right.
He's old. Yeah, he's been around. But you know, he brings a layer of Kratos that I don't think anyone ever thought we would need nor see in 2018 God of War. And then just again keeps up in the ante in this one right here.
Right.
It's incredible. It's incredible. And yeah, we gotta get these actors, like, pay your actors, man, because you get performances like this.
I
You know?
think it's deserved. You know, I know there's that joke where, you know, his acceptance speech was a bit on the longer side.
Yeah.
But I mean, at least what he was up there on stage for, like, it was very meaningful. Like, I felt like every second the man was about to break down with like every person he was thanking. I mean, he was great, man. He was great. Oh man, yeah, deserved. Flowers off to Christopher Judge. He deserved it.
Yes. Shoot, he even thanks Sonny's the last person he thanks.
Yes. Oh man, fantastic. Cherry on top.
Yes.
Perfect.
Very nice. But yeah, God of War takes home, let me see, 2, 4, 6 awards of its 11. It's pretty darn good.
That's pretty damn good.
Dare I say
Sequel inbound.
it might be the most of the night.
Yeah, I would say so.
But as you know, the rest of the show goes on. There's other awards. We're not going to go through every single award. We're going to just go ahead and talk about some of the shout outs, the other awards we want to talk about, and then we'll talk about the reveal. So real quick, the other big Game of the Year nominees, you got Xenoblade 3, Horizon Forbidden West, and A Plague Tale Requiem. They are all shut out in their respective categories. Like, they don't win any of the major ones because they either went to God of War or went to Elden Ring.
Right.
And then in their respective categories, they had noms shut out. Not a single one. Do you feel any of those games, Xenoblade 3, Horizon, A Plague Tale, do you feel maybe they get one? If you had to give them one, is there one that you feel they should take home more than the aforementioned big two?
So, like, out of the Game of the Year nominees, like,
yeah, out of the,
okay.
do you think they deserve a shout out?
Oh,
Or
like
Elden
as in, like
Ring.
they don't win anything
They-
from
so
any
those
of their
three-
nominations?
Those three didn't win anything. Like when you got, and it's kind of it's not unfair. It's unfortunate. So
Right.
Horizon
Okay.
and A Plague Tale are considered action and adventure,
Okay. Okay.
dominated by God of War. Xenoblade RPG, dominated by Elden Ring.
Okay. So, oh man, I mean, I can only speak on either A Plague Tale and Horizon because
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. Stray. Stray's on the list. I'm just not.
Well, Stray
$30
does take-
for to play as a cat.
Stray does take home. You know what? You say what you want about that cat. It won two. Stray's
It
the
did.
only.
It did.
Yeah, it
Stray's
was.
the only big nomination of Game of the Year that actually wins anything else.
Right.
The other
Right,
three
right.
are entirely shut out.
So for Forbidden West, I mean, I enjoyed Forbidden West. I really did. But like if I think there was even a category to win it, is there like a category for like best visuals? I don't think there is.
I think that falls under art direction.
Like the art.
Art
Yeah.
direction?
Yeah.
Art direction is different though, because I would still give that to Elden Ring over
Mhm.
Horizon. I mean, I'm looking at the other categories. It's just I don't see it. I don't see them on anything else because again, they whatever else they were nominated for, there was a better game that did that category better. But again, that's not saying like, Horizon was bad. It's just all its categories, someone else did it better. And it's not saying it like it was deserved, but they just came out in a bad year for competition. They got shut out. It's unfortunate, but it happens. It happens.
Grandmaster Hoop said it best. It was unfortunate because I mean they're good games in itself, and I watched some Xenoblade that as well, and it was a really good game. It
I heard good things
really
about
good.
it.
Yeah, really good art direction. RPG was actually really good, and it was just shut out. Like it in a game in itself, if it wasn't like if Elden Ring was not there, Xenoblade would have won maybe a couple of them.
I could
So-
see Xenoblade winning if Elden Ring wasn't there. Okay, so if we're taking out like these
Okay,
heavy
take out the
hitters-
big two. Yeah,
Okay.
take out the big two.
Okay. So Horizon for me definitely wins action adventure.
Sure.
Like it easily it does compared to its other competition in there. Action adventure, probably just action adventure. Yeah, I would give them action adventure, game for the year, and that's all it's getting, baby. I'm sorry.
That's it.
That's
it's
all it
getting.
needs.
That's all it needs. Be
I think
proud of
one.
it. Be
If you
proud.
can walk away with one award during the night, that'll be suffice.
That would have been it.
Sure. So hold up. Would any of us want? I feel I would like to play Stray just to see what's
I
up.
do. Yeah, I do
Yeah.
want to play Stray. I just don't want to pay $30 for it. But I am interested in. Sony does this cool thing where most of their IPs, because this is a Sony exclusive.
Oh, it is.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes, Stray is a Sony exclusive. They really do such a good job in like making you want to play them. Like this is a game about a damn cat, man. I just I want to play it. I really do. I really want to play Stray. It looks very interesting. How many games can you say you play as a cat? It's a cat simulator. Like
It's
that's
crazy.
cool. It is. I do want to play Stray.
Damn
sure.
near perfect scores for a game about a cat.
It's really innovative in the sense that like it brings you to like you don't really see that every day. And just a playthrough itself is just like you're just walking around doing cat things, and
There's a dedicated meow button.
That's crazy.
That's innovative. Why didn't that win best innovation?
Well, I dare I say there are some, I mean, maybe it's more indie in nature. I feel gaming is pushing what gaming could be. A cat makes a perfect platformer. Cats can jump really high. Platformers, you jump. Makes sense to
Right.
me. But it's like, too, you look at last year's winner, which I believe was It Takes Two, or
Ooh.
right,
It
It Takes
was
Two.
good.
For those who don't know, it's like you're a couple that's get magically turned into their daughter's dolls on the verge of a divorce, and you
Right.
work together and you navigate a backyard, a shed, your house, and it's a great game. And
Very good.
it's it's very well directed. So I like the fact that someone said, let's make a game about a fucking cat.
Good.
And I think if I'm not sure what were their like actual inspiration of it, but I know we had some games kind of like similar as well, like Goat Simulator, and there was the game about a goose as well that you can just run around and just like pick
Oh,
up things as well. That was
yeah,
actually
yeah.
kind of recently
Goose
too.
Game or something like that.
Yeah.
About a goose.
About a
Yeah.
goose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
And I mean, you're doing some objectives like annoying a neighbor or just like honk somebody out of an apple or something like that. Something simple that you can do. And I don't know if they got inspiration out of that, but they took that aspect and they just made it like a Sony exclusive and made it like top notch, which was pretty good.
I mean, as Dr. J said earlier, if the game, excels in an area, for example, the Breath of the Wild hang gliding traversal, why not see other games piggyback and borrow concepts that work, and then you get a game like Stray that might have borrowed from a game about a goose.
Yeah.
This is where we're at. We can have great games from simplicity.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Not every game has to be best performance telling a compelling story and narrative.
Right. Or maybe it can be that from the perspective of a cat.
It can be. It can be.
It's crazy that, and again, see, that's what I'm talking about. We can be here, gaming community. Get your head out your ass and stop acting like fools online, and let's get here.
Are you chastising the gamers?
I don't know if I'm chastising, but they know who I'm talking to. Them trolls, them swatters. They know who I'm talking to, But
it's gonna take a while.
Yeah.
It is.
For sure. I don't expect no kind of turnaround for the next 10 years.
But
Easily.
But Grandmaster Hood told me not to do it, so I will not do it.
Hey, we can reach them, then great. We did our public service.
This is what the podcast is for.
Exactly.
This is the PSA.
Exactly. Some other notable take homes. I found this one funny because we had our podcast on it. Bayonetta 3 wins best action game. How mad you think old girl is?
What, Helena Taylor?
Helena Taylor. How mad you think she is?
She's livid. She is she punched a hole through her monitor when she saw the award.
Oh god. I mean, it's a bad joke, but you played it? No.
I don't have a Switch. I didn't play.
Oh, you don't have a Switch.
Nintendo doesn't want me to have a Switch because they don't want to make a Switch Pro.
Oh, the Pro. Mr. Bombastic, did you play?
I did not. I did not play.
He was
the
too
only
busy
person I
playing
know.
Pokemon.
Rightfully so.
Good.
So.
It's a good game.
Yeah, it's a good game. I think it missed the nomination.
Correct.
Cutoff.
It did.
Right. Okay.
It would have swept. It would have swept.
Ooh,
I'm
I
sure.
don't know about swept.
I'm sure.
Most glitches in a game goes to
Easily.
best art direction with she's a queen, Quavable doing the freaking house music.
Dancing around, yeah.
Yes. Only person I know that played Bayonetta 3 amongst our circle is Rose the Crafter.
He actually played it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he got it.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, to the best of my knowledge, I'm pretty sure he played it. Multiverses takes home best fighting game. Have y'all had your foray in Multiverses?
I dipped my toe in it. Surface level. I tried Superman and Bugs Bunny, Shaggy. It was fun. Yeah. It's I'm trying to see what were the other. Oh, Sifu, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, DNF Duel, and the King of the Fighters. Yeah.
Art
Yeah.
Sifu's good.
Sifu's good. It's interesting that Sifu was in the nomination because all these other games are like actual like PvP, like 1v1 or 4v4 or one for all against multiplayer. I don't think Sifu's like that. I think Sifu is more like you do fight. It's like a kung fu karate type of game, but I don't think there's like multiplayer in that. Very strange, very strange. But yeah, out of all the nominees for sure, yeah, Multiverses. I love JoJo. I'm a JoJo stan, but that JoJo game is not winning over Multiverses. It's not.
Yeah, I felt like that was kind of like a gimme. Like no one's hearing the nominations. I feel like Multiverse is probably it was gonna get in.
Well, I like the fact that Multiverse was nominated over the Nicktoons game.
Oh,
I think.
yeah. Oh God.
Oh,
yeah. You remember that one came out?
I do remember that one. And
Wait,
came
that
out
was this
before.
year?
Yeah,
That
it was this year.
That was
came
like
out before
wow.
Multiverses.
April. It was April or March of this year.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And we were getting those reveal trailers
Oh,
up until.
right.
Yeah.
I remember the build up to Nicktoons Unite was
Yeah,
more.
it had the better one. I had the better
Right.
like marketing, like build up. Like it was the really big hype about it. And
Everyone
the
was trying to like piece together like what was the next fighter or character that was gonna come out. Like, oh, is it Aang from Avatar? Is it
yeah.
Wow,
Arnold?
it actually came out last year.
Oh, it came out last
October. Yeah.
Wow,
so
was
yeah,
it
that
really
makes
that
sense.
long ago?
Yeah, I guess so.
Interesting.
I guess maybe it felt closer. And it did get nominated for best fighting game. I just remember that comparison was made between the two.
It was a heavy
Correct.
comparison, yeah, because
Correct, because they wanted the next Smash Brothers. We're like, which one was gonna like overthrow that game? And Nicktoons had the potential to do so because it actually had a lot of like the technicalities of the game, but there was like a lot of things missing, like voice acting. There was like
Uh-huh.
that was problem
that
number
was like one
one.
of the bigger things.
It was huge.
Yeah, and like not as many characters as you would have thought. So people played it for maybe like a month or so, probably not even, and then just went back to
Forgot
the
it.
other fighting games that they liked.
And I mean, they patched in some of those features later. Like, they did add voice acting at some
It's
point.
too late.
It is too late.
Yeah, a little.
You gotta
They didn't even
launch
get back-
strong, damn it.
They didn't get back all the original voice actors either, so that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way they're getting Tim Curry to play Nigel.
Oh, if you did, I would have been sold.
Yeah.
They did get Hugh Neutron, his voice actor.
Oh
to come
yeah,
back.
Hugh. Okay, yeah.
He was
Hugh
excited
Neutron.
about it.
He was
He-
very excited.
Say goodbye to the Shadow Realm, Jimbo. But yeah,
right.
Multiverses definitely, I think, innovative enough to separate it from Nicktoons and Smash. Created a unique experience. Let's talk about best adaptation. This is I think we can talk about this one. This is whether it's adapted for film or TV. So Mr. Barmax, you don't know who won this one, right?
I do not know.
Okay. We're gonna read you off the noms. You go ahead and tell us who you think took it. Okay. Shoot. Let me pull it up again.
I have it here.
All right. Okay. Go ahead, Dr.
All right.
Chase.
You got Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the GOAT. And mind you, these are best adaptations of like games into different medias. So like either, as a show or a movie or whatever. So Sonic the
Correct.
Hedgehog 2, the movie. Uncharted, the movie. God bless Tom Holland. The Cuphead show that came out on Netflix. Cyberpunk Edge Runners, and Arcane. Those were the
Ooh.
nominees. for best adaptation. So these are all video games that were adapted to different mediums as either a show or a movie. Which do you think was the best adaptation? I don't even know if you've seen all of these.
I've
I
seen
haven't
most
seen
of
all
it. I've seen some of the Cuphead show. I've seen Arcane, seen Uncharted, seen Sonic. What was the last one?
Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Oh,
the anime.
Cyberpunk Edge. I have heard a lot of the good things about it. But based on from what I watched, might be Arcane, right?
It was Arcane.
It's
Yeah,
Arcane.
I figured it was a really good show, like to the point that I have suggested to many people, and that have never watched like any anime or anything like animations or anything like related to that. And they asked me the same thing. It's like, isn't that like a League of Legends kind of thing? Do I need to play League of Legends? I'm like, no, not at all. Watch the show. Just go in on a blank slate. You will like it. Come back like a few weeks later. Arcane is amazing. And
Do you hear that, Dr. Jace?
I've been hearing fantastic things about Arcade. I just need to sit down and watch it.
It's incredible. It truly, as Mr. Bombastic said, blank slate. I feel this is my experience with Arcane was very similar to Attack on Titan. I wasn't necessarily hooked until like the 3rd episode. I feel.
I can see that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then at that point, I'm like, oh man, this is something special. And then it just goes up from there. It just goes up from there.
Yep.
Do we wish maybe there's 2 categories, one for series, one for movies? Sonic 2 was really good.
Sonic 2 was really good. I don't
Yeah.
know why Uncharted is in there. Like,
I was thinking
to
of
be,
I was
it
thinking
has
of
to
that.
be in there.
no, it doesn't. You don't, just because just because you fit the category doesn't mean you're a nominee in the category.
It is
Like,
not saying it's good, but it's an adaptation nonetheless.
If you get nominated, if the nominees at the Oscar, like let's say you're up there for like best
This is the Video
picture.
Game Awards. This is what we're talking about.
but no. I'm saying like all award shows function the same way. If you're a nominee for a category, that means you meet the standards to compete in that category.
Sure.
Why is Uncharted? You know what? You know why this was here? There was not a 5th option. There was not a 5th option. They needed
I was gonna say
5
that. I was gonna ask,
nominees.
like, if it wasn't for that, what else would it like fit the criteria for it?
No, I think it's as the pool is small. The pool's small.
The pool
Yeah.
is small, and I mean, some shows coming out are after the cutoff mark. Like Sonic the Hedgehog had a recent Netflix show just dropped, like maybe last week. Sonic Prime.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
Maybe if the award show wasn't cut off from there, maybe that could have filled in the 5th slot. In no world do I see Uncharted the movie competing with any of the nominees from this category. It is not competing with Sonic 2, not Cyberpunk, not the. I mean, I haven't even seen the Cuphead show, but I know how good like just the animation and everything is, and the show is. And Arcane speaks for itself. Like, no one shuts up about Arcane. Uncharted,
is this a new
Uncharted
criteria?
I don't think it's.
don't know.
I'm not sure. I don't think it is, but when you think about it, like from previous years, like what else is being adapted from like games?
Yeah, there's not many. There's not many.
Yeah.
Correct. So I wonder if it's like knowing that now, if like shows are gonna start like coming up because of it.
So I just found it. This is the first year for best adaptation.
Okay.
Perfect.
So
I think people are gonna be like,
then.
yeah. So I think I got a feeling that probably like movie directors or like any developers that's gonna be want to branch out to like win that award. I'm sure they're gonna try to like find a way to actually like make it happen. Probably gonna see a God of War movie or like God of War like Netflix series or something like that.
Ooh.
I think some
actually,
of these are in the talks already.
There is. I think Amazon
I can guarantee.
Prime is leading the way for God of War, if I'm not mistaken.
I think they are. There's a Gears of
Netflix.
War.
Yeah, Gears of War. Netflix is working on Horizon. Last time I checked,
There Horizon as well.
Nice.
There's The Last of Us in January. That
Last
drops.
of Us. Well, actually, this is a perfect segue. I mean, they had the little Last of Us bit with Pedro Pascal showed up, with the girl whose name escapes me, but the Mormon girl.
The Mormon girl.
But yeah, we are seeing more adaptations, some reveals. Well, hardly a reveal. They showed us another clip of the great Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yay.
Is the excitement still there?
I'm excited to see the movie still. Every time when the main person on the screen is Chris Pratt.
I was gonna say, let me
as Mario.
rephrase. Has Chris Pratt won you over?
Absolutely not.
I feel like it's getting, for some reason, it's getting better and better. And I wonder if the bar was set so low in that first, like, the first teaser. Hearing Chris Pratt saying "Mushroom Kingdom, here we go," with no effort at all. I did feel like the other voiceovers were pretty good, and weirdly enough, like doing the trailers and everything else, I didn't really hear much of Chris Pratt.
Okay, same.
They've been sheltered. It's almost as if they think everyone else is selling the movie instead of their main character.
Well, I mean, I think they're putting like more of that Mario persona, because like Mario doesn't really talk as much in like any of the games. So I think they're trying to like go that way a little bit more, like have all the other people talk around him, and he's just like kind of having the reaction here, Yahoo here, Wahoo there. So if that's how,
if that's the case, they should have gotten Charles Martinet.
Actually, I was literally about to say,
true.
y'all
That
just
is true.
dropped X amount of millions of dollars for Chris Pratt to say
Chris-
some
like
couple
3
of
words.
Mario one-liners.
Buying out Chris Pratt, you probably paid for a third of the budget in your movie. It's wild.
It's so weird. But
We'll see. We'll see.
I'm actually liking it more and more. I feel like the trailers have actually grown up on me a little bit better, for sure.
I think from everything we've seen from the film, they are doing a good job at it. It seems like they're paying tribute. It looks like a good homage to the games and whatnot. So I'm happy about that too. I do see your point. They might really just have Mario be kind of short-winded, doesn't speak a lot. Sounds like a waste of money, but I'll actually be okay with that too. If he's just kind of facial expressive and that's it, I think I'll be okay with that.
Yeah, which he is. From what I noticed on some of the trailers, he's like, you can see his face going different places all around. So
right,
it's going to be a hit. Probably not, but it's gonna do what it needs to do, basically.
Oh, I think this movie's gonna definitely make bank
Easily. Yeah.
I don't think Illumination's missed since The Grinch.
In terms of
I
money,
keep-
right? In terms of
In
money.
terms of money,
Okay.
in
Yeah.
terms of money.
I keep forgetting that it is Illumination.
Yes.
That's the big thing of
Uh,
Minions fame.
You throw a minion wearing a Mario cap in front of one of these trailers, you
It's
got
over.
them kids. It's over. Yeah.
It's over. Oh man, how much you want to bet before the movie starts when you're in the theater on the Illumination logo? The minions all have like they're walking around the Illumination logo with like a Mario hat on,
I can
and
see it.
chasing
can
a
see that
mushroom
too.
around. It's happening. It's happening.
It sells itself. It really does.
It does.
So I mean, I don't think there's any other movies coming out. So from here on out, as Mr. Bombastic, as you said, a lot of announcements are made.
These are really cool. These were really cool.
Yeah. Some of them definitely stand out. We're not gonna go over everyone, but let's go over the ones we want to talk about. So I'll let Dr. Jace. Which ones stood out to you that you definitely were like, that's something right there? Because these aren't even all of them that I listed. I'm pretty sure there's a couple more.
I think you listed the ones that like are readily coming to mind. Like Star Wars Jedi Survivor. sequel to Jedi Fallen Order. Jedi Fallen Order was such a fantastic game. The best Star Wars game in years.
Yeah. Oh, hands down.
Easily. And seeing now that Jedi Survivor's coming out in March of next year, that's insane to me.
23rd, an actual release date.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's dropping. And then you had our boy, I always forget his name. The guy that plays Cal Kestis.
Cameron Monaghan.
Cameron Monaghan of Shameless fame.
Shameless, yeah. Mm-hmm.
He came out and he introduced it. You see, that I understand. When you get a celebrity like that who's actively either promoting a game that they're in or they recently contributed something in gaming, like, yes, bring them on stage to do whatever shenanigans you want to have them do. So that was really cool that they had him there to introduce and announce the game. I'm excited for that for sure. That one looks really, really, really good. Hades 2. That looks really cool too. I played the original Hades. Really fun game. It's a roguelike. Is it roguelite or roguelite? I don't know. That's the genre that it is.
That's the genre. Explain that genre for the listeners real quick.
Basically, the concept of the game is like you go through the stage as far as you can, and eventually you're gonna die in the stage. But when you die, you retain some of like I'm giving such a terrible explanation, but you basically when you die, you retain like the currency or some stuff to upgrade your abilities for a better run the next time you run through the stage. So you're always trying to push further and further along in the stage to progress the story or the game or the level, whatever. Trying to get as far as you can before you hit that next wall, and you're gonna die again, and it's gonna reset you all the way back to the beginning every time.
You know what this is? This that Tom Cruise movie.
I was literally thinking of that. It's revamped title. Live, Die, Repeat.
Live, Die, Repeat, or Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow was the cooler title.
Obviously, Live, Die, Repeat was kind of too on the nose.
It sounds more like Groundhog Day.
It is essentially Groundhog Day.
It is Groundhog Day. That's basically what it is. Hades was just really, really good in that genre because I didn't care for that genre before Hades. I was like, why would I want to keep starting over from the beginning? Like that's dumb. That's dumb. I played Hades. It convinced me. I'm like, wow, and that was an indie game too. That was an indie game. I think it won Game of the Year.
It was nominated.
Nominated.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Shoot. I'll try to find who beat it, but yeah, it was
won
nominated.
a lot of awards. I do recall that.
Last of Us Part 2.
Gross. Nope. Snubbed. Absolutely not. Yeah, seeing a Hades 2 announcement. Definitely exciting. I love the mythos, love the voice acting, love the characters, so that's cool. I know what game you're excited for.
Whatever.
Go ahead. What are you excited for?
Okay. You know what? You try it all you want. Okay. Suicide Squad. Yes. Not 4-player, right? I don't think it's 4-player.
They haven't said that yet.
Okay.
It's multiple characters.
Multiple characters.
The full title is it's called Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
Yes.
That's the full title.
Great title.
Great title. Gets you.
Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang, Deadshot, King Shark. Justice League is brainwashed.
Right.
On a rampage. Suicide Squad sent in. I think they announced this game, 3 years ago now?
Oh my God. They announced this forever ago.
Right.
And
Have we seen any gameplay?
No. No. That's why I get aggravated when this game ever shows anything with a trailer. I'm like, I don't care about the cutscenes. I don't care about these CG trailers. Show me how the game plays. And not like a trailer where like you see snippets of like 5 seconds to show like how cool it is, because I think they might have shown that.
I think we did get that. We did get that.
We did. I'm talking a full-on, the level starts or whatever starts, and you're playing as King Shark, and you show me how this damn thing runs. That's all I want. They still haven't done it.
Oh gosh.
It's
Yeah, you're right.
ridiculous.
They haven't. They haven't. It looks, again, as you said, they've shown nothing but like trailers, cutscenes. They all look good. I think this one is cool in its own right, simply because confirmation this will most likely be Kevin Conroy's final bout as Batman.
They played it really smart for that presentation. They probably had nothing to show for the Game Awards, and they were like, hey, Kevin Conroy recently passed, the last like week or two.
Shoot, it's almost
Yeah.
Pretty recently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very recently. They're like, hey, what was his last project for like games? The Suicide Squad. You got anything? And they're like, oh yeah, he's Batman in our game. We didn't even know. I mean, it's the Justice League, so you assume, yeah, Batman's definitely in it. And
we
if
didn't know the
Batman-
roster.
We didn't know the roster, right? And if Batman is in it, you assume, okay, it's likely going to be Kevin Conroy. Even so, because it's canon to the Arkhamverse. This is considered a continuation from where Arkham Knight left off.
The 5th game in the series. It is considered.
the fifth game.
That's what it states. I guess they're counting Origins.
Oh, I guess. Yeah. I mean, that wasn't made by Rocksteady, but
It wasn't.
I guess it fits.
Wasn't.
But what's the 4th?
Well,
wait, okay, no, I'm sorry.
yeah,
I'm sorry. Asylum, City, Night, and Origins.
Origins, yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I feel like they didn't have anything, and they're like, hey, you want to win some brownie points by thanking Kevin for his performance, which I think was still pretty cool that they showcased that, but they didn't show anything again. I feel like if Kevin did not pass, you would not have gotten anything from the Suicide Squad at the Game Awards show.
Probably
Nothing.
not. Yeah, that's a good point.
So it's cool to see it's coming out next year.
They said that.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
it is
okay.
coming out. It was originally supposed to come out this year, but it got pushed out to 2023. So we'll see. We'll see how it is. I mean, it's conceptually sounds interesting, but
It's Rocksteady.
it's Rocksteady.
It's not WB Montreal.
Thank God. Thank God.
Thank God. Right. Best way to put it. Mr. Bombastic, did you catch the announcements?
So I knew about Hades 2. I didn't know about Suicide Squad, and I knew about Jedi Survivor. That's like, I only knew about like when it came out, everybody was making a big deal about those two, like Hades 2 and Jedi Survivor. I didn't
Okay.
really know about Suicide Squad, so I'm actually very excited about it. I'm hopefully it'll be a good game. As like you guys said, no gameplay yet. Coming out next year. Hopefully it's good.
We'll see.
I have faith. Yeah, we'll have.
Of
to
course,
see.
you have faith.
That is not unbiased faith. I'm coming off of Gotham. I mean Arkham. No, Arkham Knight. Arkham
Are you
Knight.
sure? Are you
I'm
sure?
coming off of Arkham Knight. I
It's
think
okay to
safe.
say that you platted Gotham
no.
Knights.
I haven't, and I won't. But yeah, there's some other ones. There's Judas from the people who did BioShock. I think that's right
That
up the
looks cool.
BioShock
Yeah.
alley. Yeah. Street Fighter 6.
That's going to be pretty big.
Looks like a host of
Uh,
new characters. I don't know any of those people they showed off in that character.
I
that
do
thing.
not know any of them, but
Right.
it looks like they're putting in much more effort compared to previous.
Yeah,
Street
it looks.
Fighters.
Yeah, it looks very. The art looks really good.
Looks very,
The
very
design looks very unique for. I mean, it seems like an upgrade for the series. Death Stranding. What is it?
Death Stranding 2. Death
Yes.
Stranding 2 is.
Did anybody
I heard
want
of
that?
one too.
I don't think anyone wanted a sequel to
Right.
Death Stranding. funny enough, I bought the director's cut
Did you?
a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I've never played the original, so I was like, oh, I might as well play the complete version. I am curious how it is, but I've heard enough about it where I'm like, wow, the Hideo Kojima really missed the ball on Death Stranding from what I hear. And to then see, you know, he's like, I'm committed to Death Stranding, baby. We doing a sequel too. I was like, wow, you're really. And apparently he rewrote it because he said the original draft of Death Stranding, the story was very similar to COVID. Supposedly. Very similar to the onset of COVID. And he said he did not want to predict the future again, whatever the hell that means. So he completely rewrote Death Stranding 2. Like, he had a draft already, and then he's like, oh, I don't want to be called a messiah. So he rewrote
Get
Death
over
Stranding
yourself,
2.
buddy.
Yeah.
One lucky catch, and he's already gone.
To be fair, this man is technically 2 for 2 because he did it with Death Stranding and he did it with Metal Gear Solid, where he predicted how society would be in the future. Specifically with Metal Gear Solid, like the whole concept of like how information is traded for profit, misinformation spreading. It's very difficult to go into it now, but Metal Gear Solid 2, it was very, very ahead of its time for what it predicted society would be in the future. So technically, he did it twice already. So I don't know.
3 for 3. Let's go.
Let's go.
The future is written in gaming. Pay attention to your games.
Pay attention.
It's there. Yeah, there's some others. All the trailers.
Armored Core.
I missed that trailer.
That one looked cool.
Was there was that Armored Core? Was there a Transformers? Did I read something? There was a Transformers.
There was a
trailer?
Transformers. Yeah, there was a Transformers trailer. That one I kind of like half paid attention to a little bit.
I guess I was getting confused because Armored Core looked like someone could mistake that as Transformers.
I was watching the Armored Core trailer. I thought it was a Gundam game. Like I had no idea. But as soon as I saw the From Software logo, I was like, oh, this is not Gundam.
Wait, From Software?
From Software. That's the name of the people that do Dark Souls and Elden Ring.
That's what I thought that was pretty impressive. Like going to that side.
They're going back to their roots. The last Armored Core, which was Armored Core 5, that was like in 2012, I think. 2011? Something like that. But then, you know, Dark Souls / Demon Souls took off, and they've been making games like Dark Souls, you know, Dark Souls 1 through 3, Sekiro, Bloodborne. That's their shtick. So now they're going back to do a sequel to Armored Core. I mean, Armored Core doesn't play like, you know, the Souls games. So I'm excited for that. That looks kind of cool. That looked nice.
That's the one. I need to go back and watch that one. But yeah, I take your word for it. Going back to your roots. Might as well have found success here. Let's revamp our past. Why not?
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe they like it. They liked it a lot, but they didn't make too much profit out of it. But then now that they have like that
clout
audience,
God.
that clout,
they sell out everything.
They will sell out on this game too, and
Easily.
they're gonna do it the way that they want it to do, and that's probably like their baby.
It's, you know what? Now that you say that was probably the shtick. They're like, hey, we have clout with all these other games. If Elden Ring just blows out the water in February, let's commit to Armored Core 6. I guarantee you, before Elden Ring, they were like, Armored Core, nah, no, not yet. Then that thing blew up. They're like, okay, yep, we'll do it. We got the money to do it now.
We got nothing to lose.
We can take the risk. We can take the risk.
We can make that back 5 times over with Elden Ring alone.
Exactly.
Worst
you know
case
what?
scenario?
Probably half the profits from Elden Ring are going into Armored Core.
I can see it.
Yeah, in worst case
Nice.
scenario, they'll just drop Elden Ring 2 after that.
There you go.
Yeah,
Recover
yeah.
from your losses.
Yeah, exactly. There
Let's
it is.
make the
yeah.
money back, baby.
Let's go.
Makes perfect sense to me. So some of these games we mentioned are slated for 2023. However, the nominations for most anticipated game of 2023 are only, I believe, 5 games.
5 games.
5 games. Mr. Bombastic, do you know who won this one?
No, I do not. I don't even know who's.
I'm gonna let you take a jab. Yeah, this is a category.
All right.
We'll let you take a jab, then we'll say the one that we are most excited for. So there's Starfield. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's a continuation. Starfield, that's a series, right?
That's
new.
That's an original IP from Bethesda.
Okay.
The
You
guys
like
who made-
Bethesda.
I don't like Bethesda proper. They're the ones that, Skyrim, Fallout, stuff like that.
Oh,
Yes,
got
that's
it.
Right.
All right, got some clout behind them.
Right.
Resident Evil 4 remake, right?
Right. Remake. Remake
remake.
of Resident Evil 4. Remake of Resident Evil 4.
Okay. Hogwarts Legacy. Sony exclusive, right?
This one?
Could have sworn.
No, I think it's on all platforms. I'm pretty sure.
All right, you're right.
It should
Take
be.
that back.
Yeah.
Yeah, even Switch. Coming to Switch.
I don't know how it's gonna be on Switch, but
Yeah, probably the worst one. Worst outing.
Maybe, yeah.
Final Fantasy 16.
that is a PS exclusive.
Really? This one
Yes.
is.
Huh.
Yep. It is.
Interesting.
The same way Final Fantasy 7 remake was well, it was supposed to be a timed exclusive, but it still hasn't released on Xbox yet. So
Timed exclusive. So it will eventually.
Well, for this one, you know what? For this one, I know it's exclusive, but I don't know if it's exclusive for a year or
It
indefinitely.
says timed exclusive.
Okay,
So
in that case, then yeah, they probably have a year for the rights to be exclusive, and then from there, they go wherever. So like Final Fantasy 7 remake, that was released on PC like almost a year later, basically.
okay.
Gotcha.
Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. Who takes it home?
Ooh, like I did the 3 biggest one that pops out of my mind is Final Fantasy, Zelda, and Resident Evil. If I had to choose between those, my personal favorite probably would be Zelda. And to be honest, I might give that to them. I probably would say that award would go to them as well.
Yep.
It was Hogwarts
Zelda.
Legacy.
2 for
No.
2. Let's go.
No.
Says Nino Desposado.
Well, okay, listen. So not breath. Tears of the
Tears.
Kingdom. I need to see more for me to be truly excited about it. I'm getting the vibes I went into God of War with. It looks more or less the same as Breath of the Wild with some key differences, but not enough to feel like a whole new adventure. So I imagine they will surprise me. I am actually I'm kind of excited for the Hogwarts.
Have they showed
see Hogwarts,
anything
yeah.
about Tears of the Kingdom outside of like just random scenes?
They have showed some gameplay. They
They
showed
gameplay.
Yes, they have shown
Okay.
some new runic. That's
Okay.
his little slate, his Sheikah slate. Some new things it can
Okay.
do, and some other things as well. But
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
they have shown stuff.
Yeah,
But-
for me. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say Tears of the King. From what I've seen of Tears of the Kingdom, it doesn't come close to Final Fantasy 16. I mean, Final Fantasy has shown enough to where it's like, wow, this looks like a real return to form of Final Fantasy. Zelda, I feel like a good part of it is just the fanboyism. Like it's Zelda, it's the next big Zelda. Yes, of course, it's the most anticipated.
Yeah,
Where
they're running the high from that Breath of the Wind.
Yeah, for
Definitely
sure,
wild.
for sure.
Yeah, and it's like Starfield, hell no, it never stood a chance. Hogwarts Legacy, I'm interested. Ain't gonna be most anticipated for sure. It's not. Definitely kind of like what Mr. Bombastic was saying. I think the top 3 were Tears of the Kingdom, Final Fantasy 16, and Resident Evil 4 remake. But out of those 3, Final Fantasy, man, like they've been doing such a good job with the marketing for that game. I haven't been excited for a Final Fantasy game in a long time, and that one is just selling me like really, really well.
Fair.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, you are gonna be shook at the final product that is Hogwarts Legacy.
I'm gonna be shook. Like,
yes, I imagine it's gonna be really good.
Wow.
I'm putting my money on it.
I feel like it will be a good game. I just don't know how it's going to be played. Like I want to know how it's going to be played. How it's going. I'm sure it's going to look fantastic. Like it's going to have really good scenery. Story is going to be amazing, but that gameplay feel, but it's one of those things that like, because I played I forgot it might be like a Harry Potter game that I played.
No.
Yeah,
Lego Harry Potter doesn't count.
The Lego Harry Potter's, it's probably the only good Harry Potter game, except one of the Quidditch ones gets pretty good praise.
Oh, Quidditch World Cup, that one was kind of fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So which one are you? What are you about to say? What are you leading with?
No, it was like one of like the PS2 games.
Oh,
Yeah, those ones.
Goblet of Fire.
Yeah, Potter. You wish.
That's the only thing that's like, oh, okay, this is not good at all.
I bet.
Standard movie adaptation video game.
The good old days. The good old days.
I miss those days. We need more of those.
Nothing compares to Spider-Man 2. That's the pinnacle of movie-based games.
God.
Oh, my
jeez.
goodness.
Disgusting.
Am I wrong?
There's Wolverine.
Yeah, actually,
Wolverine
surprisingly
Origins.
enough, surprisingly enough, that game gets pretty good praise, despite the
It's source material.
yeah, absolutely. No, I think just having. I think it's, if you're gonna do a Harry Potter game, I don't care to play as Harry Potter. Set us back odd 500 years or something.
I think this is the right move. Like with how they're going about it. Whether or not it's gonna be good, I'm not sure, but like to go about it in the way where it's like you create your character, you go to classes. It's kind of taking a page from like the DBZ Xenoverse games.
Oh yeah.
Where like for years you always played the story. You're like, yes, I get it. The Saiyan saga happened before the Frieza saga. I understand. And for years people were asking, can we create our own characters with their unique movesets? Then Xenoverse happens, satisfies that wish, and I feel like Hogwarts Legacy is in that same boat. You're now a student. You can now go and do spells. If the game's going to be good, it might be bad. It might be bad. I don't know.
It could be. It very much could be bad.
It has potential.
It has the potential to be bad.
It has equal potential to be good. It is slated for 2023.
Right.
February. Wow.
Oh, February.
Wow,
February 10th.
Oh, wow. I didn't know it was that soon.
Yeah, I think that'll be the
2
latest
months.
The earliest one to come out of those aforementioned games.
Yeah,
so,
I was thinking like end of the year 2023. So, I mean,
if
we know
Elden Ring proved anything, February is a good month to launch.
February is a very good month. Well, unfortunately, for Forbidden West.
Here, I got you. One will stand, the other will fall.
Gross.
Oh, thank you.
I'll give it a 4 out of 10.
That's
Tell me, do you know who
respectable.
I was going for? Y'all know?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Is it Optimus?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ew. 4 out of 10.
It was more of Peter Cullen doing the Toonami bit. Only on Toonami.
Oh, okay. I can buy it.
I can see that. Yeah.
Whatever.
5.
No, it's fine. It's fine. But I think that is the best way to wrap up the Video Game Awards 2022. Any closing thoughts? I mean, we went ahead and talked about the awards as a whole, the show aspect, the nominees, the winners, the losers. We covered pretty much all ground. Do we have any final closing thoughts? Maybe where we want to see the Game Awards next year, what we want to see take home, big granddaddy prize, or just any closing comments for the gaming community? Dr. J, start us off. Close us off, Mr. Bombastic, and then we'll shut it down.
I guess for like improvements, hire some security first, please, and before someone gets hurt, and maybe have some more categories. It's cool that they're adding some new categories that they didn't have before, because I don't want to see a category where Christopher Judge has to compete with his co-star for best performance when they could have easily have taken it in two separate categories. So best overall performance and then best supporting performance. I don't know. That's their job to figure it out. Put more categories in there so that other people can get some of their awards, and just tighten it up a little bit. Stop doing this thing with like movie promotion, like Glass Onion and Al Pacino. Just stop it. Take care of like I know that's like a voter's choice award, and this one's kind of hard to handle, but Jeff Keighley came out on stage and even said it, where like apparently there were like bots coming in and voting for like Genshin Impact to win over like Sonic Frontiers or something for voters' choice or something like that. Genshin Impact still won, but still, like I'm sure they'll work out a better strategy in getting rid of the bots, because that was one of the concerns. There were a lot of bot votes in the voters' choice award. But yeah, the show will keep getting better from here. Just home in on what makes the gaming industry fun, what makes it sell. Like we were praising it earlier, that orchestra bit, oh my god, fantastic. Give me more of that. Give me more of that guy that Mr. Bombastic mentioned going ham on the flute and like 12 other instruments at the same time. That is cool. I want to see that. I ain't getting that at the Oscars. You ain't gonna see someone going in like that on an instrument at the Oscars. You're not. Yeah, other than that, cool reveals. I like the reveals. And I feel like the more this show expands, you'll see more you'll see like more promotions in the way like you go to E3 for. Like where people go to E3 to see like the next big thing, like the next trailer that's going to drop for a game. I feel like the Game Awards has been slowly but surely becoming that next big thing, where if you want to see what new trailer is going to drop for a game you really want to get into, tune into the Game Awards. You might not even care about the awards. You just want the trailers.
Exclusivity.
So I feel like this year they did a much better job for like big reveals for like upcoming games. So keep doing that. That's great.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree in a sense that definitely more security. One of those things that I feel like I feel more people are going to be watching it for better awards. Maybe some people are going to be expecting another blowout going to happen, or some people are going to be like, well, what's the best new game coming out? What's going on? I do agree. Less movie actors, more like content creators, like people that streamers, people that you know from YouTube that play those games, that they're like really invested in those.
Yeah.
That people can relate to a lot, because they just keep watching those people play those games. And I if I'm right, I believe there was also like a content creator award.
There was. Yeah. Things like that would be great, and like keep those things up. Maybe have some of those people, like some of the nominees or like the winner, say like something, or just like present one of the categories. So I feel like
right now is at a good start. It definitely can be better. So we'll see what happens next year. That's for sure.
No, well said. I think we gotta cater to the people that care. Content creators, the actual creative teams behind these games, the actors who, you know, put in, day out, making these games a thing. But yeah, we got to get back to them first versus trying to pull these other people that don't matter. In the grand scheme, they don't matter. So hopefully take a page from what happened here, get some security, do a better job. Again, there's glimpse of hope. There's glimpse of hope from the gaming community. There's a glimpse of hope from the Game Awards. I just think, yeah, we got to keep going uphill, and then the people who are fighting the good fight continue to do so. Put the pressure on those idiots who want to screw it all up. But yeah, gaming is here. It's here to stay. I think it's just now time to give it the recognition it's forever so been dued. So I know, you know, us giving the time today to talk about the 2022 Video Game Awards, I think that's a step in the right direction. Hopefully people who are listening, you know, whether you're a big time gamer, small time gamer, you know, if you like what you heard, by all means, give us a like, give us a follow. We're on all social media platforms. Thank you for listening on your multimedia podcast listening stations. Again, we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We got things popping off on TikTok, trying to get to 10K. Help us out. Gaming, Dr. Jace, he's on Twitch all the time. You could have gone through the God of War experience with him. You're on Elden Ring now?
I'm on Elden Ring now. I'm pursuing the Elden Ring.
And apparently you found some dog thing.
I found a dog that was a tortoise.
Things are going on, people. He's moving.
10 out of 10 game.
We're getting there.
You gotta get on board before it's too late. So yeah, here we are. Shoot, we'll definitely be back talking about gaming some other time for sure. I think Mr. Bombastic and I are gonna have a follow up on Pokemon whenever he's ready, whenever I'm ready. Throwing that out there. But y'all, thank you for listening. That's it from us here at the Yonko table. I am your host, Grandmaster Hoop, fellow Yonko, Dr. JaceAttorney, and special thanks to Supernova, Mr. Bombastic for showing up tonight. Y'all be easy. Christopher Judge, long he live, and we out of here.